Okay, I got a couple pieces of Georgia swirl that I need to thin down. I don't know which one I'm going to do on video. Let's see, let's fix the camera. Okay. So this one is, let's see, 10.5. This one is 9 1/8. All right. They both have some issues that make it very difficult. This is very inconsistent, but I've got plenty to work with. This one, I've got a turtle back right there that's going to be difficult to remove because of that piece of limestone right there. That inclusion. Plus it has other inclusions, but they're not as bad as this one here. And this one might even have some holes inside because it's still thick. I don't know what's inside this one. I think this one is going to require a lot of focus, so I won't do this one. To get that turtle back off, I'm going to have to do a very careful maybe two flakes to get rid of it. I tried one right there and it didn't work. Or I might heat treat this first. Okay. So yeah, I'll do this one. 10 and something. I think this is one of the largest pieces of swirl that I've tried to reduce down. It was a big nodule and I just knocked a bunch of flakes off for the heat treat. And then I had this left to mess around with. Okay, so I don't know. It's gonna be lots of grinding, lots of I don't know if it's gonna be good or not type flakes. I can already see that I'm gonna have to take a lot of risks with it. It sounds very solid. A lot of risks because it's inconsistent. You know, the flakes don't want to travel sometimes. And there's a lot of surface area. The bigger it is, the more flakes have to be removed from the piece you're working on. You know, the bigger the piece you're working on, the more flakes. So this is going to require a lot of flaking. Twice as much as what I normally do on a single piece. And twice as much grinding, preparation. We'll see. And it might, no, it's raw, right? So it's not like a snap in half heat treat. So it's got that going for it. It may not be the best fall asleep to type stone because it has a very loud ring to it when I'm abrading it, and maybe when I'm hitting it too. Youch. The stone right there is very hard. But I want to thin down the end first. Well, both ends. I was just doing more bifacing and stuff just before this, but I was testing out my latest heat treat. I got some heat treat coming up for the auction again. Seems to be pretty popular. One of these days I'll save some of it for myself so I can work it. I was doing a little bit of it. I got a blade coming up for the auction. This one turned out really nice. And the patterns are excellent. It's got an inclusion right there, but I was working on this just before I turned on the camera. just to see what it was like. And yeah, 375 degrees for 4 hours. That's that heat treat. And this one's just going to be a long blade, like a dance blade. I'm not going to make anything out of it, I don't think, unless I break it and it becomes, you know, like 7 or 8 inches long. I might just nap it down into a knife blade, or say, oh well, I'll just heat the two pieces. Heats the pieces. We'll see. So yeah, this stage is just regularizing. Let's see what I got. Yeah, it was just rough bifacing before. I was just taking off big opportunistic flakes prior to this stage. But now I've got to be a little more careful and see what I got here. See what I got to work with. I don't like it too much. I don't like what I got to work with here. I really banged up the edges. Just spalling this out, you know, getting those flakes off. I shouldn't say spalling it. I was removing big flakes from it and abusing it. And now I got to do the damage control after all that abuse. I don't like to spend a whole lot of time removing flakes for a heat treat. Ouch, that's a hard spot right there. Yeah, look at that. Very, very hard spot. Yeah, I should be doing the billet work. But the indirect percussion is a lot more precise. I'm not really confident enough to do this. I rarely do large pieces like this, so I'm not confident enough to take the billet to it. I suppose as time goes on, I'll be buying more of these big nodules and get better at reducing the big ones on video. I don't do these for myself. Yeah, I don't have a keeper case of large pieces. I used to have a keeper case of the small ones, but I ended up selling those because my small points look different now than they used to look. Yep. I can get them thinner on the edges nowadays. So I'm just going to make a whole new batch of small ones for a keeper case. One of these days. Come on. Yikes. Very, very tough. Somebody asked me to do a video on how do you get both sides flaked well, because he said he could only flake one side well and the other side's really crappy every time. Every time. One side's crappy, one side's good. I was going to say welcome to the club, you know. That's everybody. But I didn't. No, I didn't. I said, yeah, I'll do more like that. But for now, you can watch most of my videos recently have been, you know, I do one side, I flatten one side first and then I flatten the other side. paying attention to not step fracturing so that both sides look good. But it's hard to do. It's really, really hard to do. Everybody has one good side, one bad side. I guess he was thinking that his bad side is like extremely bad. Like perfectly flaked and then a big old fat stack on the other side. You know, an island with stacks everywhere. That's what his looks like. Yeah, that would be an issue. That does need some serious addressing of the issues. If you're that extreme. I don't know. He didn't mention how extreme it was. Sometimes it's just the stones you're working with. One side is good and the other side is not flakeable. One side is flakeable and one side is not flakeable. Especially if you're near the cortex. The side near the cortex is usually flakeable, and then the underside is not flakeable because it's closer to the center. And you get big old stacks and islands in one side and nice smooth flaking on the other side. Could be just the consistency of the stone doing it to you. And nothing you can do about that. Nope. You just gotta say, oh well. Or, what's the other solution? Heat treat it. Yeah. That way you can even out the sides. And make sure you got a cheater tool like this to hit those steps on the face. As long as they're not too, as long as it's not too risky for diving flakes, you can knock these out. You know what I mean? I've been using the cheater tool on a lot of my recent videos, so if you're watching and you have the issue, the cheater tool works really well to unstackify one of the sides if that's what you got. If you got stacks on one side, on the concrete side of the Biface, welcome to the club. It's a very popular club. It's got lots of members in it. Yep. The one side stack club. One side is really bad. One side is really good. I need to think of a name for that. I was going to say bipolar. But that's already taken on some other Flintknapping thing. It's a schizophrenic. It's crazy. The Biface is so crazy. Something like that. I don't know. This one here doesn't want to cooperate, and that's what the nature of the raw stone. That's what happens when you get raw stone and you start hitting it extremely hard. It doesn't want to. First off, it doesn't want to flake, and then when it does, it reluctantly gives you a flake that's all kind of weird. It's reluctant. Yeah. And then it messes up your tools. Yeah. It starts to wear down on the tools and they get all dimply. Especially if you're hitting with aluminum. Which is what I'm doing. So by the time I post this one, you guys are probably already going to be asleep. But who knows? A lot of you guys are night owls. Very late. And in Europe, it's early. So some of you guys are early birds watching the videos. I don't know what I'm going to do about this stack right there. It's nasty. I don't have a good way of attacking that. I need to attack it soon because it's going to mess up the front part. It's going to be way too thick. If I don't remove it soon, it's going to be unbalanced. It's already getting to be unbalanced because this is already thicker than the middle. Alright, let's see. I cheated. That was good. Alright. Where... This is it, right? This was the piece? Where's the piece? I thought this was it. Yeah. So that's what happens when you take the chance. I hit this way, hoping that would do something good. And voila! It did something good. And now I have a tattoo flake where I can sharpen that and do tattoos. Yeah. Right? It's a tattoo flake. You know, you sharpen it and you wrap a little bit of, I don't know, absorbent cordage, dip it in the charcoal ink, and really? How do I know how to do that? No, I've just watched it on video. That got me in a good mood that got taken out so easily. And I was thinking that was going to have to really think about that one. Turns out I don't have to think about it anymore. I just have to worry about making sure I get rid of that. And then we're in business. That's the only really bad area. Right there. Relatively speaking. It's still really thick, but that's the area I thought was going to give me a lot of trouble. We'll see. Another area is going to probably pop up and rear its ugly head. These all should be straightforward strikes. For the most part. As long as I don't hit a really nasty bad area. Of inconsistency. I don't know. This is looking like it's going to get real steppy really soon if I'm not careful. Yeah. It's still not narrow enough for me to feel confident about driving flakes more than halfway. I mean, I did here, but this is the best area for flaking. Up here it gets really bad, and over here this is really bad on this side. I don't know. Gonna have to grind it. Grind it and grind it and grind everything. The tool, the edges, my nerves. Yeah, it grinds on my nerves. All right, let's see. And the fine abrader puts a smoother edge on it, which allows better contact and more precise hits. So you can really get in there and hit right where you want, exactly, or try to, within reason. Did it do it? Ooh, I thought I was going to remove that whole piece of limestone. A lot of times they don't run that deep, but that one looks like it. It's not that deep. Still might pose a problem later, because you don't know if it expands or contracts. It looks like it's diminishing, but another hit could reveal a big pocket in there. Yeah, You didn't know? Now you know. Yeah, after napping some of this stuff. I really like this Georgia swirl. I really, really, really like it. Even though it's all temperamental. It's so interesting. To me, anyway. It's not boring. Let's put it that way. It's not a boring type of rock. It's interesting. All right. See, it's not going more than half weight. See, I want it to go a little bit more than that. At least up over the top. It's not getting any thinner when I do that. And the bulb is making the edge thin. But I don't need the edge to be thin. I need the middle to be thin. Yeah. Billet work will sometimes do that, but I don't have any luck with the billet work. It just crushes the edges. I blast the edges to a crushed pulp in many cases. In a situation like this, because I think what happens is it's twisting on me with the billet. Because you saw what it looked like before I started with the indirect percussion. It was all kind of abused, and I was using a billet to do that. Yeah, so I know what the billet's potential is on this stuff. Yeah, I know. Stack City. It's going to be Stack City if I don't hit that right. And then what do? Start crying. Yep. Oh, man, I hit that so hard. It didn't do anything. Okay. I left it in place and hit it again. It tried to do something. It tried to. It's not bad. It's behaving somewhat, because you can tell it's trying. I can live with that as long as it's trying to travel. I can live with it. It has potential. But it needs to travel more than that. Yeah. Not getting anywhere. There it goes. See, I need that to happen on the up here. That's what needs to happen. I don't care if it breaks. I'm not looking for flakes. I don't care if the flakes breaks. I'm looking for long flakes. They can break all they want. I just need it long. Probably not going to be able to get long flakes. There reaches a point where you know that if you keep doing the same thing, it's not really going to do much. Golly, this is getting, I don't know if it's getting tougher or I'm getting tired. Feels like it's getting tougher, but it could be I'm just getting worn out. It's the end of the day. This is not coming along badly. I can see good results ahead, as long as there's no major mess ups. See, like this is a potential major mess up right here. I got to make sure that I can remove that. Now I hit from here. That starts in a bad area, so I'm not going to get a good flake probably, but I might have to just rely on narrowing this side and then shooting several flakes that way. I might be able to get it from here. This is good material there, and shoot flake into there. Yeah. But I gotta leave my options all the way down. Leave my options open all the way down. And brushing like this just reveals opportunistic areas, and they're already strengthened naturally, so to speak, because the Abrader wipes out all the weak spots. It's not always ideal as far as opportunities, but it's good enough in many cases. I need to do metal on metal. This is not doing nothing. Right? Hopefully. Ouch. That's a big deposit of aluminum. Did it do it? Well, it did go over the top. But it didn't go very deep. But it's a little bit reduced. Golly. I'm afraid to hit it metal on metal. It's just very, very shocking if I don't do it right. Any little mishap with the billet, if the platform is not weak enough, believe it or not, it'll shock the piece too much and it might break everything in half. That platform can't be too strong. Yeah, and I can see that it's not going to work from here. I could take a flake along this ridge here if it was a heat treat, and then that little bump is not a big deal. It'll just usually hit that bump and then push against it and take another flake. So it'll be a two-part flake. Here, boom, it'll stop, but then because it's a heat treat and it's delicate, it'll stop here and break, but it'll continue to punch another flake. When it's raw, it doesn't like to do that. I mean, it did it down here, right here, but this is a good area. This is not good stuff here. This is tough. So I'm going to hit this and see if I can get that to go. It's risky, but oh well. Why is it risky? Because of that. It got crackly. Yep. Dang it. It's got unreleased flakes in there. Is there a better way to do this? Yeah, with more experience, more practice. It'll look exactly the same, except I won't have the bad results. With more practice, I can improve my results. It'll look the same. I'll still hit the same platforms. I'll still have the same force. I just might choose a better angle or a better area to hit. Or move it over slightly. Or modify something very slightly. Let's try the plastic billet again. Alright. That smoothed it out. Okay, good. So I used the metal on metal. It seemed to work okay, but it was a little bit too harsh. But it didn't manage to blast away a lot of the surface there. I might be able to get that cheater tool in there. It's better if I get it from this side, because it's not as deep. If I hit this right here, this flake, it will go deep. If I hit this side though, up here, that flake will be shallow, and it's better to go shallow than really deep. And I'm going to do metal on metal. Well, it just skinned it. Didn't do much. Dang it. Let's see. I'll take a risk. I just won't dig into the bottom. I'll just try to skin the top here. Try to run that ridge. keep it a little bit up instead of pushing it down in the bottom of that step. I'm going to keep it a little bit higher. See if I can hit that ridge. Grind the ridge, yeah. Grind it right there. You might be saying, if I grind it too much, it won't do nothing. Alright, here we go. Oh, that was an interesting flake. Did it do it? I just tapped it a little bit. Ah, yes. Not too shabby. I can work with that. See, it did want to dive in. It's got a big bulb. This whole thing is the bulb. It scooped it, but it's still thick, so even if it scooped it, it's not bad. Cheater tool. That's how you do it. These are almost going where I need them to go. It did break up at the ends, so it's going halfway, which is okay. As long as it's going halfway, I'm in business. That didn't go anywhere. Stupid. Hit that limestone patch. Alright, so it's the whole thing is going to be like this. Trial and error. Some of the flakes are going to be good. I'm going to get some stacks. I'm going to have to do damage control. I want to regularize the edge to see what I'm doing, see where I'm at. Just take opportunistic stuff in various areas. Mess with the width. Get it really, really narrow in some spots just to get it to work. Then figure out how to make it symmetrical later. But try to keep this. I'll try to keep the symmetry in mind through the whole process. Keeping the ends thin before the middle gets too thin. I don't want a bunch of mass on the ends to mess up my chance of thinning it in the middle. Yeah, too much mass on the ends causes it to snap in the middle when you start hitting the middle. The edge gets too thin too fast. That's the problem. It started out pretty thick, so I have to hit really hard to get the flakes to dig in. But then they dig in the edge as well. So I'm trying to get them to dig in into the middle, but they end up digging in on the edges as well, and it makes the edges real thin, so I can't hit it again in the same spot twice. Without making it more narrow. Now I'm not worried about preserving any of the color anywhere or any of the patterns anywhere. I'm just concerned about preserving the length, and that's it. That's all I'm concerned about, is the length, and to try to get it as thin as possible. And of course the symmetry. The symmetry's got to be good. And I'm going to work on the tip right now. I don't want to because it's tough up here, which means it's pulling a lot. But it's best to do that now while it's still thick in the middle, because there's less chance of it snapping in half while I hit the tip. Now, if it was a heat treat, there's no telling when it would snap. But since it's raw, it's a little bit stronger. It'll still snap in half. Oh yes. But there's not that heat treat type of risk. Oh, man, come on. It's making me it's making me hit it way too hard. What else is new? Yeah, because that's a tough spot right there. You might be saying, yeah, there's a lot of drama tonight, man. What's up with the drama? It's because this thing is long. Yeah. It's getting on my nerves. It's 10 and a quarter. It's a long piece. There's a lot of flaking involved. Yeah. And I can't mess it up by shooting a flake that doesn't go in the right spot. Not at this stage. This is the refinement stage where I have to try to refine it down. Oh, man. So there's going to be a lot of drama. Or the potential for drama if I start messing up. Could mess it up on purpose. You don't know. Make even more drama. A real nail biter. Nah. I always kid around about that. I have no desire to make it more of a drama thing. No. That one did go more than halfway, yes. All these little cracklies at the end, they were in the middle. So it's good. Did I do it? I went to the middle. It's not too bad. Play by play. You're not watching it, I know. Just imagine. These are going. That one's halfway. But it didn't get thinner. Yeah. And the tip of the tool there is getting all dimpled, so it's not making good contact. That's probably one of the reasons why it didn't go. It's getting all dimpled, so it doesn't make solid contact. It's got to be smooth. And it can't have little pieces of stone embedded in it, because that ruins everything too. Oh yes. For some reason, if you have stone embedded in the tip of the tool, flakes do not respond as well. Come on, get out of there. I'm not hitting below center line enough. I'm hitting platforms and striking areas that are right at center line, so that's another issue of why they are kind of short as far as the flakes go. But at this stage, if those striking areas are too low, I will get an overshot. And that's just terrible. Absolutely terrible. At this stage, I don't want any overshot stuff going on, because it'll make it way too narrow. If I take some off the other side, yeah. Grinding a lot is a shortcut to, you know, making it more narrow. It doesn't always work. See? Dang it. All right. I could feel it, that it didn't travel enough. Still not traveling enough to get that lump out. Yeah, I got that ridge, but it's not that great. I'm gonna try it though. This ridge here. If it don't work, it's the cheater tool coming out. Oh man, that didn't go anywhere. It just crackled and crunched. Perfect platform and nothing. Yeah. See, I could do the cheater tool there or there. Let's try that. I like hitting it with the ball peen because there's no fuss. It will remove a flake. Dang, I just don't want to hit it with the... I don't want to hit this step fracture there. It'll run too deep. The bulb will go too far into the piece itself. I still have some room to work with as far as the width. So I'll wait till it gets more narrow to attempt make an attempt on this again. Yeah, I'll wait. I can probably get it from this side. Shoot this way. I might be able to get it. So sometimes I try to regularize, sometimes I try to isolate. Once in a great while, I'll try to isolate an area, see what it looks like. You can isolate an area and have it look terrible and go, dang, I shouldn't have tried to isolate that. It doesn't look good. Yep, it is a thing. Maybe I should get the steel out. The steel might do it, because it's getting to the point where these platforms and striking areas are getting smaller and smaller. I don't need such a large tool. The steel might be able to do it. Run those flakes. Let's see. With the steel, it initiates easier. They initiate easier here, and that might be make all the difference on the travel. Try it first on an easy area. See if it works. Oh yeah. Lots of travel on that one. Okay. But that was an easy area. The real test is going to be on these difficult areas. Yeah, it's not much better. Although it's not too bad. Look at all those secondaries on the end. It's okay if the flakes break up as long as they travel, like I was saying earlier. But that, I might be able to hit that with a cheater tool. Hold on. This one here, I might be able to hit this with a cheater tool, because it's just going to skin over the top, and that might be all that it needs to wear it down. Enough. Okay. No, that doesn't do it. Nah. There's not enough of a flat face on that step fracture. Oh, it's actually a hinge. A step fracture is a partially undetached, broken off flake. A hinge is not undetached. It's a full termination. It just scoops out instead of the step fracture will stop and break, and you'll see an undetached piece in there. With a hinge, it completely detaches, but it scoops it out at the end. Okay. So they look kind of the same. Yeah. And people ask me, what's the difference? Sometimes they ask me what the difference is. I don't get that question too much anymore. I guess because they assume it's the same thing. Some of you guys that are good at thinning at this stage, you're looking at this and going, that's pathetic, man. That's pathetic. You don't got a good ratio there. Disappointed. Yeah. Join the club, man. I would like to get a better ratio at this stage after doing so many hits. Width, a thickness ratio. But it started out really thick. Okay? That's my excuse. I'm so tempted to hit that with the cheater tool. But nope. I'm gonna start using the aluminum again. The steel doesn't seem to be working all that much better on the hard spots. Although I might, yeah, hold on a second. It might be better to use a steel here since it doesn't shock the piece as much. It doesn't pull on it. I do need to get that thin down. Just no stiff fractures, okay? Oh, that was nice. Okay, so I got the tip kind of thin down. Ouch. Yeah, it's not going to cooperate. It's really hard up on the tip. Now, if it was a heat treat, it wouldn't be this difficult on the tip. Yeah. Alright, I gotta be careful on that. I'll do it later. Dang it, I gotta go more narrow on this. See, that's the problem. When the flakes don't travel, you just gotta go more narrow, and that's when you lose your ratio. Man, I wish there was some way to get this bump out of the tip here. It wrapped it, but it didn't fan out. It just wrapped around the front side. It tried to fan out, but it hit a wall. See that? It tried to fan out, but they hit that wall. Okay. Dang it, it's getting way too narrow. I don't see any other option. All right. So I just did a direct attack on that. Okay. Cheater tool. Well, now we can do a direct attack on the other side. Just a light tap. And then I can attack this one. Light taps. Okay, looks much better. Eventually I'll be able to run a flake over the top of that once it's low enough. I think it is low enough. Okay. Did it go? Yeah, it went halfway. I mean, it's good enough. If it ends up being really, really thick, I don't care. There we go. That's good. Symmetry is looking pretty bad, but everything else is okay. It's slowly getting there. I think I lost about a 1/16 of an inch on the length just then by knocking off a little flake to get that symmetry. I'm going to lose a little bit more. Come on. I'm just thinning the end, trying to. Blasting away a lot of the edge. I don't want to, but that's just the way it's working out. I can remove some of this edge here to force some flakes in this way instead of always having to go on this side. But this side's the inferior stone, so that's why I have not been hitting on this side. But we'll see. Yeah, I can feel that energy dissipate. Okay, did it do it? That one felt like it did it. Yeah. If you hit a really quartzy area, you can feel that it doesn't go anywhere. All right, now we're starting to get somewhere. But not like that, see? Any little mishap at this stage it's not good. I'm keeping it thick in the middle to keep it from snapping, but it's still a really thick piece. Thicker than it should be at this stage. It's always good to keep it a little bit thick in the middle, but it's just too thick. So I'm going to have to do some thinning, some serious thinning. Not like that. That didn't work that well either. Come on. It's not doing anything. Platforms look really good too. It's getting all crunchy. Feeling that's too much grinding. Yep. It's not doing anything except stressing the piece. Yep, nothing's happening. Alright. Let's try to see if the steel can break that. Break into that heavy grind. Okay. Gotta grind it, but I can't over grind it. And I can't under grind it because then it step fractures everywhere. Did it do it? Okay, it kind of did. I'll have to even it out a little bit later, but it is thinning it. But not like that. I can't grind it too much. Okay. I'm starting to get an issue. See the hole there? That creates a weak spot so it can snap right across there. That hole goes all the way through. So there's our weak spot that we didn't see coming. Could lose that whole inch off the tip. Yes, right in the area where it's got really difficult material that requires a really hard hit. That's what I get for holding back a little bit. Alright, it's really, really crunchy right there. Right here. It's just snapping just like straight quartzite. And I held back a little bit and it didn't release. Yeah, it's just like straight quartzite right here in this area. might heat treat this whole thing. Yeah. But I don't think I have time though to have it ready by Monday. If I heat treat it overnight tonight, I gotta dry it out first. 24 hours. And then raise the heat on it. So it won't be until Monday when it's ready, and then I won't have any time to nap it on Monday. Got undetached crunches in there. Youch. Okay, so the undetached things, I just brush them away. I might be able to pressure flake that out. Pressure flake the rest of the tip. And then maybe indirect percussion where it may be needed a little bit later. All right. So we'll leave the tip for now. There we go. That's good. Not like that. It's going to leave incipients if it doesn't release. I may have just cracked it too right there. That's a really hard hit. I gotta watch it, see if that's not a crack incipient going in. That could open up. You could lose that whole tip there. Yeah, there is a crack right here. All right. Switch to aluminum so that the steel doesn't crack or make crackiola pudding out of everything. Nice. Nice. If I could do that across there and across there, that'd be perfect. But no, it's not gonna. It's not gonna want to. I have to coax it. It's gonna be one of those coax and gloats. If I can coax it, then I'll sit and gloat. I'm gonna have to prepare this edge. Don't I always have to prepare the edge? Yes, but not necessarily strategically. I'm usually opportunistic, but I may have to prepare it strategically. But it takes longer to prepare strategically, and if I mess up where I think I should be not messing up, I don't have a second shot, because it requires a lot of edge removal to do it strategically, because you're preparing certain areas. You only have one or two attempts, and that's it. High stakes game. I hit the whole workpiece just now. All right, and because I put some pressure. That's the danger of pressure assisted percussion. I put some pressure on it, it slipped, and I hit the whole thing. All right, gotta get a grip here. I do need to put some pressure on this. Let's see if it did it. I think it did. It did it as well as I can expect it to do it. It tried to dive in the middle. But it's starting to look flatter, which is what I was wanting. Yeah. Okay. It's time to do this, but I don't want to hit that yet. I don't know if it's going to work. All right, I need to take care of this crunchy area first before I start tackling the middle again, because this will be too heavy in a minute. As I start thinning the middle, this is going to get way too heavy. All right, should I break out the thin steel? I should. 1/4 inch diameter steel just to pick at the edge. Come on. All right, I see what you're gonna do. It's gonna be like that, huh? Yeah, it's gonna be like that. It's gonna nap like quartzite, which means not at all. You hear that? That flake? That high-toned flake? That means it's extremely tough. Okay. It's making me hit it really hard. But it's working a little bit. Hope I don't get a copyright strike on this because of the music playing in the background. You can probably hear it. I've gotten two copyright strikes in the past month, but they didn't pan out, I suppose, because I didn't get a strike on the channel. I got a copyright claim, I should say, but nothing happened, except for demonetization or shared monetization. You share your monetization with someone else if you got music in the background. Yeah. I think that's all that happened on those two. And on one of the videos, there is no music in the background, so they're sharing the monetization for nothing to get free money. Isn't that a racket? Extortion. Legalized extortion. Yep. All right, come on. Not that tough. last time I checked. Okay, did it do it? There's some weirdness going on in there. Looks like there's a crack where it tried to dive in. This looks like it tried to dive in that way. Or something. There's a weird crack there. See that? It's not good. That crack runs deep. I'm in trouble. I should just regularize it and just leave it. And don't try to thin it anymore. I should. Still solid, but that crack worries me. Okay. Pause for damage control. Push on the face of the step. See if it does anything. It did a little bit. Maybe I can pick at some of this crackiola pudding here. Yeah, that crack really is weird. Okay. Oh gosh. I never try to pressure flake something this thick. This is nail bending time. I don't know if I'll be able to uncrunchify that. Push one off there. Looks all right. Yeah, okay. Pushed off another one right there. But that was major pressure. Hold on. Let's see if I can push on the face of that step. Yes. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Let's see. Lots and lots of pressure. Luckily, it's the end of the week. I can't be doing this all week. Can't push my luck. I'm not going to be able to get that out. Unless I take another flake somewhere. The danger is I always cut myself. Still got to see that scar? Yeah, from another video. Or I don't know if I did that on camera or off. I don't know. It's pressure flaking all right. All right, hour and a half, hour and 21 minutes. Could push my luck and try to indirect percussion that tip a little bit more. It's thick here, and then it gets thick right there. I need to do some indirect percussion on it for sure. I think I'm going to wait. See if there's anything that's worse. I mean, this is kind of worse, and I need to get this tip thin down before it puts too much stress right there. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I'm dangerously close to that hole in this. In there. I was going to say in the side, but it's right there. It's kind of close to the edge, which is not good. Yeah, this is not taking flakes off like I need it to. This percussion flaker is way too small. Yeah. But it's gentle, so I'm not going to be risking too much, but okay. I do need to get to a larger diameter so I can see. Yeah, all right. So I can see how it's going to work, and it's going to work all right. All right, so I got that side flat. I pressure flake this kind of smooth. And now I can run flakes inward. Maybe, hopefully. Yeah, that's the only option is from that side. Only option to thin this down here is from this side. I don't like when I only have one option. Nope. I don't like it. Gotta make it look a little better. Getting too close to that hole. It's making me take risks. What else is new? Nothing new. SSDD. SSDD. You know what that means? Same old double duty? Kinda, sorta. double duty for sure. Oh, not like that. That's what I was afraid of. Reinstall the step fractures right where they used to be. Yeah, you work good when you're lower. Expose a little bit more of that crack. Why did it have to be right there? Come on. Yeah. You really don't want to cooperate. Dang it. It really does not want to cooperate. Lose a lot from that side. And that hole is going to be right on the edge. Eventually, I'm going to creep right up to that hole and it's going to be right on the edge. Oh well. Come on. It's not wanting to do it. Nope. Not at all. It's not wanting to do it at all. It's just a tough spot. Okay. Messed up my symmetry to try to get it thinned down. It did not work. All right. Okay, so now I'm just going to regularize it. There comes a time when you say to yourself, that's good enough. Even with a big old crack remnant that you can't pick out, I'll see what happens after I regularize it. If there's a clear path to send another flake, I might do it, but it does not look that way. Especially not through this stuff. This stuff barely works. It looks like I pressure flaked that whole out of there. It looked like it did not go all the way through after all, or it went all the way through the other way. It's not there anymore, which is good. I gotta make it symmetrical somehow. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So now it's just regularizing and making it symmetrical, and if I have another opportunity somewhere, I'll take it, but enough is enough. Except for the metal marks. I'm trying to get those out. Sometimes all it takes is a lucky flake to get those metal marks off, or a long pressure flake or something. We'll see. Come on. Yeah, a year ago I could not pressure flake like this. It's taking me a long time for the wrists to recover from back in the day, but they're getting better. I'm getting older, but my wrists are actually getting better. As long as I don't overdo it. What do you think? Should I finish it out tomorrow or finish it out right now? I'm pretty tired right now, so I might not finish it out right now. But I do want to get the symmetry done. Come on. You're tough, but not that tough. Get very careful I don't cut my finger on that. That's the one thing about the pressure flaking I haven't figured out yet, is exactly how to hold a pressure flaker so I don't cut my finger or pinch my leg like that in between the flaker and the edge. I've learned to kind of stay away from the skin of my leg. Still does happen though sometimes. But like I hit my I guess my knuckle against the edge sometimes, so I gotta stick my finger out like this. But then I don't get as much power in the grip. But if I scoot it under like this, it's a little bit awkward, but I'm way away from the edge. We'll see. Eventually I'll get it. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to quit. I'm pretty tired. The symmetry is good enough for now, and then I'll finish it out tomorrow when I'm a little less tired. Sharpen it up. How much was it before? I don't remember. It's 10 exactly now. So I lost, I don't know, about ½ inch. And I don't want to go any thinner. Nope. How much is that? Let's say millimeter 67 by 15, 4 to 1. 4 to 1's okay. Yeah, I can live with that. All right, 15 millimeter. Yes, at the thickest part it's 15 millimeter. And if it's 60 wide, that's 4 to 1. It's like 67, so it's approaching 5 to 1. If I thin it down more and get rid of some of this nastiness in here, but I don't want to risk it. I may be able to get it down to 5 to 1. If I run flakes through this area, I can get rid of the metal marks. I might just leave them in there anyway. Someone's gonna want it, even with the metal marks, and they'll be smarter than me. They'll know how to get rid of those with some sort of chemical wash. Yeah. Yeah, I can take that hump out, so I can get it down to 5 to 1. I'm pretty sure I can get that hump out here with a flake from this side. Just make it a little more narrow, thicken up that edge, and pop a flake off. But I don't know. All right, so I'll finish it out tomorrow. Let's see if I can get a thumbnail picture. I don't have a dark background. Yeah, my towel's over there, but it's underneath a bunch of stuff right now. I stacked a bunch of stuff on it. Hold on. Yay, there we go. That's it for now. Yep. Okay.